Yeah, it's like hard to say goodbye, but sometimes you got to. I would say I have a little bit of seller's remorse, but I haven't ridden this bike in a really long time, so sometimes you gotta part ways, make room for new stuff. You wanna go down the bottom? Oh, no rear brake, only a front brake. That's sketchy. That's all right. I was gonna ride it down, but it doesn't have a rear brake at all. So I was kind of worried about coming down the bottom of the stairs and grabbing front brake and just smashing into the Suzuki. So it was 2001, I built this bike and I ran across a guy who actually worked at Honda Factory Racing, and he's like, man, are you ever interested in building something crazy? And we started talking. I'm like, man, I've always wanted to build a CR500 to service Honda, but I want to build a supermoto service Honda, because I thought, if I used a early model CR frame, they were super stiff, too stiff really for motocross, but maybe they'd work really good for supermoto. And that was kind of the idea behind the CR500 Supermoto turned Cafe Racer. I basically built this bike into a supermoto bike, and because I was racing over in Europe, I had some connections. The head, the porting, and the exhaust are off of the European, at the time, supermoto champion CR500 supermoto bike. And I put the motor into the chassis, which is a 97 CR250 chassis. So the thing rips. It's got a lot of horsepower, kind of one of the gnarliest CR500s out there. Supermoto just became really popular again. I thought, man, I'm gonna race a CR500. Sounds like a good idea to me. Rick Pierce was riding a CR500 at the time, so I was like, that guy's got it made. I was riding a YZ250, let's go and ride a CR500. Had a little bit of success with it, and then I went out to Fontana and I crashed big time, high side on the front tire. Like pushed my helmet through my arm and broke my arm really bad. Plates and screws and all kinds of stuff. The old CR500 sat dusty for quite a while, and then we got into building our 450 Super Singles. And that was like, boom, let's build, you know, something crazy out of old dirt bikes. I already had the Supermoto, which I had said I'm not gonna ride this thing anymore, it's too dangerous. Turned it into a Cafe Racer. My buddy who was working for me at the time, Rodney Aguirre, he also built the bike, and we rode these things from here to Laguna Seca for MotoGP, which was crazy. And Red Bull set up like a whole zone for us, and we brought our Super Singles. But super cool project, and it kind of inspired us to start building singles race bikes. This was one of like the original Cafe Racer motocross bikes that really hit, and people took notice of this concept, and people started building a lot of these styles of bikes. This is one of the OGs. So it's got a stock CR250 gas tank underneath this aluminum gas tank top. The tail section, this seat pan was actually off of one of our Harley spring seats. So I built a steel tail around it. Factory Supermoto exhaust pipe from Frank Raffel over in Europe. The heads, the porting, all came from Frank Raffel. A CBR 1000 front fork, CBR 1000 triples. The wheels are from Performance Machine, and at the time we were making Supermoto wheels. So this is a 17.3.5, 17.5-inch Performance Machine assault wheel that I designed a long time ago. I built this weird little alien headlight concept, a little bag, little leather bag on the front. And it's got a Baja Design lighting coil on it as well. At the time when I built the Supermoto bike, I wanted it to be street legal, and it was street legal. I actually got it registered, and it has a license plate. It's kind of crazy. she blows. CR500, service Honda, turned supermoto, turned cafe racer, and now it's going to a brand new home, and it's one of those bikes I'm gonna miss. We're not gonna miss it that much.